Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, the price has moved up very modestly since the last update. That was sort of desired along this ascending trend line. However, we have now broken that trend line. I mentioned yesterday to you this sort of impulsive price channel here when we connect waves 2 and 4 that it is moving to the upside here and that it could be sort of moving along that channel, that support level. Now that was broken now. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I'm going to take out this descending trend line. We don't need that anymore. And I will scale this one back for now. So now we need to look at where we are. I mean, we are still making here slightly higher highs, higher lows. However, we have broken here this channel. Now, okay, it is here the 1 hour chart. The current hour isn't closed, but in 5 minutes it will be closed. So most likely we're going to break this. And the question remains, where are we? Is this already the fifth wave or not? It could be, but I don't have any evidence for it. I mean, this is what we're doing here is micro counting. So we are moving up the relevant stops or the relevant support levels with the counts, against which counts, can we focus on higher. Here it's basically this wave 2 low against which we can focus on higher, because as long as we hold this support, we're making a higher low, and usually when a wave 2 is broken to the downside, the count is invalidated. So therefore, we're focusing on this wave 2 as a working support and climb higher. However, what does it mean now that we broke this channel? Well, not really too much. It just means that most likely wave 4 is still ongoing. Mentioned in yesterday's video to you that we don't really see a hidden bullish divergence. You often see that between a wave 2 low and a wave 4 low, meaning we normally see a higher low from price to price, so between waves 2 and 4, which we do, but we don't really see that hidden bullish divergence, for example, on the relative strength index, which means we should make ideally a lower low on the indicator, which means if I go, for example, to the 4 hour chart, it's probably the more relevant for this one. Here, the wave 2 ended down here, and it made a low on the RSI around 50, and we're now around 65 or so, or 60. So what often happens between a wave 2 and a wave 4 is that you make a higher low on the price, but a lower low on the indicator. That is an indication that the wave 5 is about to start. We don't see that yet. Now, these divergences don't always appear. So again, it's not like, it's not determining your price pattern, but you can use it as indication. We don't have it yet, so I'm still a bit skeptical if wave 4 is really over, especially as we don't really see at the moment the impulsive price action to the upside. So maybe we just need to be a bit patient. I also don't see it really on the daily chart, so I think we may just need to be a bit more patient, which doesn't mean, wave 5 couldn't have started, but it's just not, you don't have that confirmation through the indicator really. So what could it be? Obviously, at the moment, it could still be a 1-2 setup here, and then we have maybe another 1-2 setup currently in the making. But obviously, this is sort of a little bit of a guess because it's not really moving up impulsively. What I could imagine is happening, one possibility would be that, yes, this is a 1-2 setup here that we've got already on the chart, and that what's currently unfolding here might be something like a leading diagonal in a sub-wave 1 of 3. Now, that's all a bit adventurous, these counts. Yeah, I mean, they're a bit made up, I would want to say. I mean, they are valid, but these are assumptions. I try to show you here what could be happening. This is obviously not based really on the evidence at the moment. But yeah, you could get here something like, let's say, a price channel, like an ascending wedge. You typically get that like in a leading diagonal in a wave 1 that we could say maybe here in the subwave structure, but don't take that too seriously, right? Because there is really no evidence for it yet. Yeah, so we could have here a wave 1-2, and then possibly within this you might have here another one. No, that's wrong. This whole wave 1 might unfold. So just to show you roughly. So this wave 3 could unfold a little bit like that. And then this wave 1 would be a leading diagonal, probably still in the making. But this is how it could work. But if we take out this $22,500 level, then we have to, then this pattern breaks, yeah, and this wave 2 will be reset. Also, this is obviously not high confidence because it's broken this trend line. Now, okay, it's not the most defined one. I might take it out now because it has broken it on several occasions. So let's take that out. What seems more relevant at the moment is maybe even a trend line here that you could draw. Again, trend lines are subjective, but this looks like an active price channel to me. So we can observe that, and we are just hitting support, and there's a good chance that we bounce off here to the upside, yeah, and move along. These are obviously no high probability trade setups, but at the moment we can focus on higher, specifically as long as we're holding this wider support at 22K, and short term, let's say micro support is here, the 22,500 level. Breakout to the upside will be this wave 3 high at 23,380. And a target for the fifth wave to the upside here, the orange fifth wave target for that will be, there's always a relationship, or usually, between the wave 3 and the wave 5. So what you normally do, you take the length of the third wave and you go to the low of the fourth. Now again, I don't have a confirmed low here. The move up is not really impulsive, so it's not really confirmed yet, but we could at the moment assume the wave 4 finished here, because we have since made higher highs and higher lows, and not only one but several. So we could assume at the moment it's done, and that's why I based the calculation of the target on that. So the first relevant target is the 23,960 level for the fifth wave, but ideally you're pushing a little bit higher, make a bit more of a clear wave 5 to 25K, but this is the relevant target, 23,959, based on the latest lows. And he also a question from one of the viewers who said, your targets change in every video. They don't change in every video, but you know, you can, in Elliott Wave, you base your targets on the previous wave. So for example, if I have to calculate a target for the fifth wave, and yesterday we looked at a wave 4 that might have finished here, the targets will move. Because that's why I meant, you know, I often give you targets, but obviously I always mention that they might move if we make another low, for example. As you can see here, if I put the low here, or if I put the Fibonacci extension tool to this low, you get a target of 24,298. But if I base it on the latest low, it is only 23,990, depending on how accurately I do it. Didn't do it very here, 950. So they move, yeah. Targets in Elliott Wave are based on the previous waves. So of course, if the previous wave makes another move, another wave, another sub-wave, then these targets move as well. That's why the targets really only become relevant if we have a confirmed breakout and confirmed move into the direction, and if we can really assume that a wave is finished. Here I'd be a bit careful with assuming that. To be honest, this could still all be the wave 4 as well. But yeah, all I can tell you, there are various possibilities here. This is just micro counting. This is just anything that happens here on the micro level, which is fragile, fluid, day-to-day, intraday volatility. Again, it could still be a wave 4 because a wave 4 can unfold as a triangle. And here this looks a bit like corrective move down, corrective move up. So we have a chance that wave 3 finished here. This was an A wave down, a B wave up, C, D, E, triangle. Wave 4 finishes here, and we would then move up. Keep that in mind as well. I think these are the relevant supports. But then again, don't get too confused about the lower level wave counts. There are some people who want to know them, who want to know how it could be unfolding. But for most people, it's just relevant that this is the relevant pivot point, the relevant support area here that goes down to 22K. As long as you entered buy order in here or two, then you are in profit and you can move up your stop loss and you can just ride the wave and, let's say, hope it will go up. Hoping doesn't bring you, doesn't give you anything in financial markets. But if you have entered already at a low risk entry point, then you can hope that your stop loss won't trigger. And you can move your stop loss into profit, and if you get stopped out, you can re-enter lower, but most likely you are then in a good position because you can straight away take some profits basically and move up your stop loss. And if, for example, you scale into support, and when you see a chart fails to make an impulse, you can start to scale out again. Yeah, so that's sort of the game that we're operating in. But yeah, we need to observe that a little bit more. And maybe in the next video we have more clarity. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.